I'm Preston Hobbies, and today we are talking about every single country in North America. So, North America, as you can see, is the yellow, and it is a very interesting country, and it has a lot of terrain. Okay, so this is episode 1 of North America. If you guys like this and you subscribe to my channel, we might be able to make episode 2 for South America, but that will only happen if we reach 1,000 subscribers. Okay, so first is USA. So USA has a lot of terrain like deserts, tundras, grassland, taiga, and it also has Alaska. What's cool about Alaska is it's right next to Russia. It's only 2.4 miles or 3.8 kilometers. This is very interesting because that means that in North America, USA is the most west country. And also but how the history happened was it first started with all the colonies ruled by UK. And also to the west is Spain. And then the history goes, and it only started off with colonies, but then it grew massive over time. Next is Canada. So Canada has, it's mostly just, it's very in the north, and it's mostly just trees, really. It does stretch from both coasts. And here's a picture of the beach. And it is on the Arctic Circle, just like USA, but it is also on the Arctic Circle, which means that everyone has to live all the way down here. This is because the terrain is not very good for farmland, unfortunately. And also, Canada was first by France and UK, and it'll show the history right now. So, this is how the states expanded. And keep in mind that this UK still is under Canada. And it was actually under it for a long time, like a very, very long time. I believe until 1964, which will show, I think it's 1964. I'm pretty sure. But yes, here it has expanded. And also, it has 12. No, it doesn't have 12. Yeah, I think it has 10 provinces and 3 territories. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's the case. So anyway, that's the history. Next is Mexico. So Mexico, this is the capital, Mexico City. Okay. This is actually the biggest city in North America, which is very cool. Another thing is their beaches are absolutely amazing. But it's not just beaches, it has mountains. It also have one of the 7 wonders that was from the Mayans, which is absolutely crazy. And it's really crazy how they can build something this old. And this is called the not Machu Picchu. This is called the oh my gosh, it's at the time it's at the tip of my tongue. It's the pyramid, yeah. Okay, anyway, Mexico is actually the 12th biggest and is the 10th most populated country in the world. That's pretty crazy. And also USA is the third, okay, so USA, first of all, is the third biggest and it's the third most people. Canada's the second. Yeah, it's really low on the list, and yeah, it's Mexico. I totally forgot to talk about that. So anyway, here's its history. So it was part of Spain, right? And then so it wanted to get its independence in 1821, to which it did achieve that. Texas broke off as its own country. Mexico didn't recognize it for a long time, but then eventually they did. And then USA, also Mexican USA war, and Mexico lost in this, and yeah, that's basically it. Oh, don't forget they also get invaded by France. Unbelievable how that happened in 1861. Pretty crazy, right? I never knew that. Maybe you didn't know that, but I never knew that. And somehow France did not like the leaders, so they're like, you know what? We're just going back to France. Anyway, uh so as you can see, Spain ruled a lot. It had a big influence on North America. It got a lot of their land, as you can see. And yeah, those were the regions back then. Anyway, next is Guatemala. Okay, so Guatemala has a lot of mountains, and here are the beaches. Oh yeah, and it has a lot of volcanoes. And what's absolutely crazy is Guatemala has 22 languages, I believe, like official languages. It was also part of Spain. Um, so that's cool. El Salvador also has a lot of mountains, and yeah, it has a lot of history of the Mayan. It has the oldest capital in North America, called San Salvador. It was also ruled by Spain. Next is Belize. Belize have incredible beaches. It has that cyan color. The same thing with Mexico and USA. Um, and yeah, it also has also the Mayan ruins, and it has the second biggest coral reef, which is pretty good, not gonna lie. And then as you can see, there's Belize right there. So Belize was actually ruled by United Kingdom. Pretty interesting, right? So I believe uh it was ruled by Spain and then Belize. I don't know exact. Yeah, yeah. So it stuck on with. I mean, it was with United Kingdom for a long time, then eventually became independent, and it was also part of Spain. So Spain and then UK, and then it became independent. So next is Honduras. Honduras, of course, has amazing beaches too. This is this beach. I don't know why I put the same beach. Anyway, it also has incredible Mayan um, ruins, and there's no smoking in Honduras. Now that is very interesting. But next, this used to be part of. I'm getting way too ahead of myself. It used to be part of Spain, and by 1850, it was its own country. I spelled that wrong. Nicer Rockera. Let's just call it that for now. So, it's Nicer Rockera. That's not how you say it at all. It has amazing oceans, and it has beaches, and it also has a pretty big lake, also named Nicaragua, but that's not how you pronounce it. I think you know how to pronounce it, but I wrote this like 3 years ago. But anyway, it has no street names. Why? I don't know. That's a very weird decision. So now there's not any peach lanes, like in Georgia. There's a lot of peach lanes. That doesn't matter. Okay, anyway, it was part of Spain, and it was kind of ruled by UK, but it was its own country by 1850. I don't know, I just picked a random year, 1850s. A lot of cool stuff happened. Anyway, next is Costa Rica. So Costa Rica, of course, it's beautiful beach, beautiful ocean, beautiful beaches. It has over 200 volcanoes. That's a lot of volcanoes, and I will definitely not be going near that. Uh, The difference about every other natural disaster is earthquakes, it just shakes the ground, right? Tsunamis, it floods an area. But volcanoes, man, they're violent because they, once you're caught into them, you're dead. Like, because it's lava, you're literally being cooked alive. It's just not a good combination. So definitely do not live near an active volcano, and probably not all of them are active. Probably some of them are dormant. But anyway, they were ruled by Spain. They were its own country by 1850, as you can see right there by the circle, and that's great. Next is Cuba. So Cuba, oh man, that's what I'm talking about. So as you can see my mouse, that right there, that's incredible ocean. And it does pop out tourism. Yet why is there no tourism? Well, communism. Yeah. So what happened was in 1953. That, yeah, I don't know what the heck happened. That's USSR. It's the national anthem, but it was also Cuba. I don't know. So, like communism, you have to vote in Cuba. You have to. So Cuba could. I would feel like Cuba would get a lot of tourism. The only problem is it can't because it's communism. So it can't get any tourism. Um, Well, it can. Like, you can go to China. It's just a difficult process. Well, it's more shut up like North Korea. I'm in USA and I have to fill out this whole entire thing to get in Cuba. And what happened was, in the Cold War, it used to be part of USSR. It was it's part of Spain, but then USSR got hand of it, and the Pig War happened, the Cold War, and we literally almost started nuclear war on November, I want to say 8th, 1962. Yeah, that would have definitely ended the world, and I would definitely not be here. I don't know if anyone would be here. Next is Panama. So Panama is, by the way, we're going west to east if you haven't noticed already. So Panama, it's a pretty beautiful country, as you can see by the ocean. What's obviously the most thing that sticks out the most, and it helped us a lot for history, was the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal uh, cut miles, and when I mean miles, I mean thousands of miles down to make trading easier. So now, instead of going to, I don't know, New York to Los Angeles, and you have to go all the way around, like oh wait, I didn't, sorry. You have to go all the way around South America. You do not want to do that. Trust me, you do not. So they built Panama Canal. Unfortunately, it was very, very difficult to make because of all the bugs and blah blah blah. But anyway, it does border South America. That's pretty cool. The only thing is, as you can see in the circle, there is no roads there, so you can't drive to it. Also, you can't drive from North America to South America. Why? Because um, when it comes to cement, let's just say it's not a good place for tropical rainforest because you're trying to put down the cement and it just keeps on raining and you can't do anything. It costs so much money. It's just not going to work out. And also, even if you had enough money, it would take years. It's as difficult as connecting Alaska to Russia, basically. But it might even be more difficult. It's not that much land. So anyway, it was owned by Spain. As you can see, the trend. A lot of countries were owned by Spain. Um, but then it actually was part of Colombia for a pretty long time until Panama was like, I'm being independent. And then USA did support them on that. Why did they support them? Well, it's because they wanted to have the Panama Canal for a long time. Next is Bahamas. I've been to Mexico, but that really didn't count because I just went over the border right back. But Panama, Bahamas, I actually been to. This island right here. It has NASA. It has incredible oceans. Uh, Fun fact is actually everyone drives on the left side of the road. I don't know why I didn't notice it in 2019. I just did not, but apparently everyone drives on the left side of the road. That's interesting. Christopher Columbus saw Bahamas first. Not USA, but Bahamas. That's a very common misconception. He did not see USA, but he saw Bahamas first. But then again, now Bahamas and USA is very similar. So Bahamas, now we have the Caribbean map. They were owned by UK. Um, and they were owned. I know this on top of my head on like a lot of other countries. 1983 or 85, I think. And yeah, it's pretty cool. And yes, by 1850, it was still owned by Bahamas. But UK. Anyway, next is Jamaica. So Jamaica has incredible oceans. It's a really good place. I have not been there, but it's a good place. I know Bahamas. Bahamas is a really good place. It has a really good ocean. Anyway, yes, Jamaica's a good place. Jamaica has the most radioactive spot. I don't know if that's a good spot. Probably not, but anyway, it was owned by UK for a pretty long time. Of course, until 18. It was owned until after 1850. I need to put the years, but anyway, Haiti. Did I spell Haiti wrong? Hold on. Oh my gosh, I spelled Haiti wrong. I knew it. So Haiti, we're gonna call it Haiti now. Haiti, is a pretty, has a really nice ocean. The only problem is, so it was the second colony to gain independence from a country in the Western Hemisphere. Okay, that is basically North America and South America is the second. The only problem was it was not good for it because, yeah, they didn't want to be part of its country, but they were in this process where if they weren't owned by, they didn't have a lot of money. So what happened was these big earthquakes come by, it destroys everything, and then they try to build it, but they don't have enough money. So now they have bad houses, and then another earthquakes come by. And it just keeps on digging. They keep on digging themselves into a bigger hole that they can't escape out of. As you know, Haiti is pretty poor. It actually has the most mountains in the Caribbean, so that's very cool. Hopefully one day Haiti can recover. It needs like USA to come in, but that would be a lot of fixing and repairing. So as you know, it used to be, well, you might not know this, but it used to be part of France. But in like, I don't know, 1794, very, very early, they became independent. So next, yeah. So USA and United Kingdom, they like tried to own them basically, like as their territory. And same thing with Dominican Republic for USA. But they really weren't doing that. They were just trying to make them become a territory and then they would become independent. Pretty cool. Anyway, next is Dominican Republic. So Dominican Republic, even though it's on the same island, it's much, much more richer. Um, like richer as in money wise. And it has, of course, pretty good coast. Um, yeah. What? Oh my gosh. So I have something that says it's discovered Bahamas, and then now I'm saying that it's discovered Dominican. Okay. I guess Dominican Republic was discovered first and then Bahamas. I don't know. Dominican Republic is the only country to have Bible on its flag. That's very cool. It shows, I guess, it's showing its religion, so that's pretty cool. And it used to be part of Spain, so and then apparently it was owned by UK after that, I think, and that's where the circle was. Next is St. Kitts and Nevis. So St. Kitts and Nevis has an amazing ocean. It does have two islands, main islands. St. Kitts and Nevis was actually formed by a volcano, which is 3,792 feet. Pretty tall, right? Yes. So St. Kitts and Nevis are the Caribbean's oldest colonized territory. I guess it was a colony for the longest amount of time, or I don't know what it means exactly by that, but anyway, so yes, it was first owned by Spain, but then of course it's owned by UK. Spain, as you can tell, it's losing a lot of their colonies, like a lot, which is really unfortunate because now it really doesn't have that much. It has a lot of islands by Africa, but that's really it. As you can see, it's circled right there. Next is Trinidad and Tobago. So Trinidad and Tobago has a nice coast. Uh, so what I said is you can't build a ocean to North America to South America. Technically, you can from Trinidad and Tobago. It's not that far. It's only like 10 miles, I want to say, and they can build a bridge here, which means yeah, I just said that. That's pretty cool. Trinidad and Tobago has the world's biggest brain coral known. That's really crazy. And then, sorry, I'm talking that. The biggest brain coral ever known. That sorry. Anyway, I'm mocking myself. So of course, as you can see, UK has one big island and one small island, mainly. And yes, it used to be owned by UK. Still owned by UK by 1850. Anyway, next is Grenada. So Grenada. Is it Grenada or Grenada? I don't know. Anyway, Grenada. And however you say it, it has, of course, pretty good ocean, as you can see. Only got hit by hurricanes 3 times in 50 years. That is pretty good, and it has dodged hurricanes a lot. But Hurricane Ivan made 90% of the house damage. That is absolutely terrible, because we all know that Ivan was really bad. And not only damaged what countries, it's Grenada, whatever. But it also has ruined Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was supposed to be a state, as we will learn. It's not on this list because it's territory. I don't know. It's just not. It's just like more. I don't know. Saint Martin is not on there because it's owned by France. Anyway, Grenada has the first underwater sculpture park. Even though it's only made in 2006, this is still a wonderful sight. Yes, it is. So this is not on purpose. Uh, this is not an accident. This is on purpose. Like they didn't discover something crazy. A scuba diver went underground. I mean, I guess he built it above ground, and then he went underground and he put it down here. It's a pretty cool sculpture because it shows all these kids like in this circle. So I guess it's cool. And you actually can go scuba diving there. So yes, it was owned by UK. It was still owned by UK by 1850. Okay. Antigua and Barbuda. Okay, so Antigua and Barbuda basically has, what is that, a pink beach? Maybe it's the lighting, but yeah, kind of. So it has two islands. They're not the same, but Antigua and Barbuda has rivers, but Barbuda has none. So that's very interesting, right? As you can see, the circles, I have circled two of them, but as you can see in Barbados, there's none. And as you can tell, only what? That's only if my calculations are correct, that's like 9 kilometers or how many miles? Like six, no, it's 8 miles. Whatever. But that's not that big. It really isn't that big. Um, but and then Barbuda, not Barbados. It's only 26 miles away from Antigua and Barbuda, so that's pretty cool. Oh, I was right. I forgot. Yeah, the beaches in Antigua are pink. I need to stop saying. The beaches in Antigua are pink. That is pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Next we have. Oh, yeah, I was used to on my UK and still on my UK. So next is Dominica. So Dominica has pretty good beaches, as you can tell. It has a lot of trees, and as you can see, it has a mountain. This looks pretty cool. There's a river for every day of the year, which is 365 in total. That's very cool. 2/3 of Dominican is covered in rainforest. So even probably anywhere where you enter, even on the beaches, is rainforest. That's very cool. Well, at least that's what it looks like. It was on my UK. Okay. And yeah, I was still in my UK. Next is Vincent in the Grenadines. And as you can tell, they're basically all owned by UK. Why? Well, because France still somehow has all their islands, and it's probably gonna be like that for a good 20 years at the least. Anyway, they have that color, as we all love, cyan, and there are gold, black, and white beaches in St. Vincent in the Grenadines. That's a lot of varieties. I did not even know that there was black beaches. But yeah, pretty cool. Pirates of the Caribbean was filmed here. Wow. So 1, 2, and 3 was filmed here. And yes, it's the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Very cool. It was also owned by France. It's also owned by UK, of course. So that's pretty cool. And the next is yes, it was also owned by UK. Anyway, is St. Lucia. So St. Lucia has incredible beaches, as you can tell. It has the world's only driving volcano. See, that is very interesting, right? Why would you want to drive in a volcano? Oh, wait, it's probably dormant. Well, if it's dormant, then that's really, really, really cool. Blackbeard visits St. Lucia, so I don't know a lot about him, but I heard he's a very, very intense pirate, and he was pretty good at his job. Next, just right there, a circle. Next is the last country called Barbados. So Barbados has amazing sand beaches, and Barbados had never been successfully invaded by a foreign power. So what does this mean? Well, this is kind of it kind of depends on what you're defining by it, but technically Barbados is not part of UK. Uh how they try to keep their colonies like France, as they say, oh, you can have your whole entire government, but we still technically rule everything. And if you have to fight um if you have to, if let's say there's a war, right? Well, Barbados have to be involved in that war. Does that make sense? But now I think it's technically independent now. I don't know. Barbados is the most no, not Western. It's Eastern president. Sorry. It's the most eastern country in the Caribbean. Ignore that's western. Anyway, so it was it was owned by UK in 1850, and then became independent sometime. Well, I don't know. It's confusing, but anyway, and yeah, it was still owned by you in quotation marks owned. That's not Barbados. It's over here. Sorry. Well, that's the end. Make sure to like for. I have it somewhere. South America. As we remember the. Let's just go back through all of the slides. Yeah, a lot that we talked about. So remember, if we get 1,000 subscribers, we will do South America. Now, here's the thing. We only need 1,000 subscribers. I have right now, currently 858. That is not a lot. So, if you know anyone that hasn't subscribed, please subscribe. But anyway, I'm Preston Hobbies. Hopefully, I can see you in the next video of South America. But besides that, bye! See you in the next video.